Hi everyone, Miss Curdy here, and today we're going to be talking about 16-4. And you're going to notice that this actually is going to have 4 different note sheets, but they're going to be on the same sheet, so you're going to actually have 2 full sizes. And once again, just like we did in 16-1, we are going to fold our paper in half, this one, and then here is our other sheet. It's 3 of 4 and then 4 of 4. And we're also going to fold that one in half. After the video, you will cut your papers down on this line and glue them in like usual. So make sure we're not writing over that line, otherwise your work will get cut off. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to be talking about in 16-4 is we're really going to be connecting area and perimeter together. So in these next couple problems, we are going to be looking at figures that have the same perimeter but different areas. Same perimeter, different areas. So here are some examples of some figures that are going to have the same perimeter but different areas. So let's go ahead and figure out what those perimeters are going to be. I'm going to move through this quickly because it's just review. So my perimeter is going to be 5 plus 5 is 10, 11, 12 feet. My area is 5 times 1, which is 5 square feet. My perimeter down here is going to be 4, 5, 6. I know that's also going to be 6, so I'm going to have 12 feet again. And then my area is going to be 4 times 2, which is 8 square feet. Here I have a square. 3, 3 is 6, 9, 12 feet. And my area is going to be 9 square feet. So now when we look, all of these figures have the same perimeter, 12, 12, and 12, and the areas are different. So what does that mean? So let's say that these were shapes of our backyards. What it would mean is we'd all need the same amount of fencing to go around our backyards. They would all need 12 feet of fencing, but the area is different. So if we were going to put down grass seed, we'd all need a different amount of grass seed. Figure at the top would only need 5 square feet. This one here would need 8 square feet, and then this one down here would need the most grass seed to cover it because it has 9 square feet. Another example of when this would matter is if you were planning on getting a puppy and you wanted a fence in your backyard and you only had 12 feet of fencing. You can decide how you would make your figure and how you would fence in the yard so your puppy would have the most amount of space to run around. Here the puppy would only have 5 square feet, 8 square feet, and then down here 9 square feet. So this is what we'd want if we were going to fence in our yard for a puppy or a dog. So again, same perimeter, 12, 12, and 12, but my areas are different. So now in this topic, you're going to be asked to find, or sometimes they say describe, figures that have the same perimeter but different areas. Sometimes down here, like down here, they'll give you a figure and say, find another one that has the same perimeter, but a different area. Or sometimes they'll just say, here's the perimeter, find 2 that have different areas, but that same perimeter. So we're going to talk about how to do that. So just like before, when we wanted to find a shape that had a perimeter of 22, we are going to do the same strategies. We're just going to do it 2 different times. So again, to find figures that have this perimeter, I want to break that perimeter in half. So I'm going to do it on both sides. And then again, I need to find 2 numbers that are going to equal that half. So over here, I think I'm going to do a 5 plus a 6. And now I have that rectangle 5 by 6. And then over here, I need to find 2 different numbers besides a 5 and a 6 that are going to equal 11. So take a moment now to find 2 other numbers that are going to equal 11. I'm going to go with a 10 and a 1. And then I'm going to draw a tiny little sketch of that, a 10 by 1. So now that we know what our shapes are going to look like, we went from perimeter to finding our shape. Now we want to find the area of each. Area equals, area equals. So in this case, I'm going to do 5 times 6, which would give me 30 square feet for an area over here. And then here I would do a 10 times 1, which would be 10 square feet. So now I have 2 new figures that have a perimeter of 22, but one has an area of 30 square feet, the other one only has an area of 10 square feet. So again, to find things that have a different area, we start with our perimeter, then we find our rectangle, then we find our area. Down here, we're looking at this rectangle, and they want us to give a different rectangle that has the same perimeter but a different area. So again, first we need to find the area and perimeter of this figure first, and then we'll work on finding another one. So over here, perimeter and area. Area is going to be 45 square centimeters, and my perimeter is going to be 5 and 5 is 10, 9 is 18, so 28 centimeters. So now I know what the perimeter is that I'm working with, and I need to find a different figure with a different area. So again, just like up here, I'm going to take that 28, split it in 2, which would be 14 and 14, and now I need 2 numbers that are going to equal 14. The only 2 I can't use is a 9 and a 5 because I already have that over here. So maybe I'll do an 8 and a 6. Now I have a new figure. I went from perimeter to finding my new side lengths, 6 feet and 8 feet. And now, last but not least, I need to find the area, and 6 times 8 is 48 square feet. So now I have 2 shapes that have a perimeter of 28, but they have different areas. This figure has an area of 45 centimeters squared, and this one has an area of 48 centimeters squared. So same perimeter, but this one has a larger area. All right, so now let's move on to our next note sheet. Over here, I've written down the steps to figure out how to find the perimeter, the shape with the same perimeter and a different area. Okay, so now if you are given a figure and need to find another one with the same perimeter but a different area, you can start at step 1. But if you're just giving a perimeter and you need to find 2 figures, you can actually start at step 2 like we've been doing. So these are just the steps that we've been going through to find the shapes that have the same perimeter in a different area. So if you ever need to fall back on this, you can. But what we're going to do over here is we're going to do 2 more practice problems. Here I'm given the area and need to find 2 figures, so I would start over at step 2. Here I'm given 1 figure and I need to find just 1 more, so I'm actually going to go through all of these steps. If you're feeling comfortable, what I want you to do is actually pause the video and try to solve both of these following these steps. And take a minute, it might take some time, you might need to erase and do it several times, but that's okay. And then meet me back here to see how you did. All right, so here I have a perimeter of 16, and I need to find 2 figures that the perimeter, and then I'm going to circle the one that has the larger area. So I have to start over here with just finding my side lengths first. And again, I split my numbers in half, so I'll have an 8 and 8 on both sides, and then I need to find 2 numbers that equal 8 over here and 2 different numbers for this side. So over here, I'm going to go with a 4 plus a 4. And on this side, let's do a 6 and a 2. You could also do a 7 and a 1 or a 5 and a 3. So there are several options. All right, so now I've got my 4 side lengths. I'm going to draw this figure over here, 4 and 4. And then here I have a 2 and a 6. So I started with my perimeter, I have my side lengths, and my next step is to find the areas. Area equals, area equals. And to do that, I just need to multiply, and I'll have 16 square units over here. And then over here, I'm going to have 2 times 6 is 12 square units over here. So the shape that has the larger perimeter is this one over here. They both have a perimeter of 16. This, though, has 16 square units inside. This one only has 12 square units inside. And we could actually draw in those square units if we wanted to. There would be 16, and here we'd only have 12. All right, down here we were given a figure, and now we need to find another one. So before we even begin, we need to know what the area and perimeter of this is so we know where to start. Area is going to be 15 square meters because I just multiplied. And my perimeter is going to be 5 plus 5 is 10, 13, 14, 15, 16 meters. So once again, I'm working with 16 meters. I'll do an 8 and an 8, and now I have options. The only one I can't choose is the same over here because I'm going to have two of the same shapes. So I won't do a 5 and a 3. This time I'll do a 7 and a 1, and that would look like this. 1 meter by 7 meters. And my last step is to find the area of this, which would just be 7 times 1, which would be 7 square meters. So here I had an area of 15, now I only have an area of 7, so this figure has the larger area. And again, if I wanted to fence in my yard for the dog and I only had 16 meters of fencing, this is the shape I'd want to go to as opposed to a longer, skinnier one over here. So 16-4 is all about finding figures that have the same perimeter but a different area. And use these steps as long as you need to before you're able to do it without this help. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you back here for 16-5.